Our site this year has been concentrating on working out assessment tasks R to 7 in view of moderation. And we worked out pretty early in the piece that it wasn't easy to come up with the A to E in a task. And after lots of thinking and wondering how we could best do this, we realised that we were going about it the wrong way, essentially. We needed to start with the design of the task. And the work that we were doing with the Transforming Tasks project gave us a very good clue as to how to move that on. And we did that by involving students in the design of the task. And what we found from that was that we ended up with a very rich assessment task. The previous tasks were all very well, but they were very much leading to a C, you know, so we were never able to determine the stretch or the possibility for the children. And when the students got involved, of course, that led to the engagement going right through the roof. And of course, that gave us a lot of joy in that we could see by involving students in that design, we were then giving them the opportunity to understand the task and also for them to decode what we were after in the assessment pieces. So it was really, before we were trying to put the cart before the horse, now we've got the idea of doing it in a much more fulfilling way and giving students that opportunity to be part of it. What we discovered early is that you can't divorce the pedagogy from the assessment task. It's all one and the same. It really is a matter of leading with the pedagogy and making that the focus, and from that focus comes your assessment pieces, because you can't end up just with a result of, you know, we end up with a lot of worksheets essentially. So what we really need to do was discover the challenge and the stretch in their tasks to give students that opportunity to show the A to E. And that came through, of course, with the pedagogy. So that was our sort of wow moment, if you like, that we were able to sort of get on board with that. So we found that the students were able to demonstrate a high level of achievement because they were involved in the task design, and that gave us the pieces of evidence that we needed to moderate. Those pieces of evidence were then able to show clearly the A to E as opposed to something that was not a particularly rich task. So it was the rich task involving students, involving teacher learners and leader learners that led to us being able to transform these tasks and give us the moderation pieces that we needed. For me personally, it's been a learning experience in that I didn't truly accept the fact that students could be co-designers. Certainly there was some evidence that students were very good at inputting along the process, but not necessarily in the first instance. I think teachers like to be in control of their delivery, if you like, and so it was an interesting feel to be part of that, to sit there and wait and let the students take the lead. And it is a question of waiting because it's so very much part of us to jump in and try and take control, because that's part of our personality as teachers, I think. However, that was a very rewarding moment for me when the students realised that we actually meant it and that they could be part of the learning design process. So that was pretty powerful learning for me, and so that's been probably one of the best moments I've had for a very long time in my career. So that was a big reward for me. If you transform a task and you make that task a fascinating thing for people or for students to go through, there's not going to be one pathway, there's going to be many. And so to be able to assess the pathways of the different students, it's like differentiating the learning. They will take a different pathway to demonstrate their learning, and there gives you your evidence for the A to E.